Hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions, your number one channel where you get solutions to all your solving problems. It's nice having you in class again today. How have you been? On today's tutorial, we are going to look at a plugin called the Lat Lon tools. Right, good. So you come to plugin, manage and install plugins. So we can search for Lat Lon. Okay, so that's it there. It actually does quite a lot of stuff which we are going to look at on today's tutorial. So we have it here on our tools bar, the Lat Lon tools. Right, good. So if we click on the first option there, copy and display coordinates, this allows you to copy coordinates of points of interest in your map canvas. So that particular point we have clicked on, the coordinate has been copied. So if we come to any text editor, we can actually paste it. So you can also go to another point of interest, perhaps maybe this settlement. You see it has been copied to the clipboard. You come back here, you can actually paste it. Right, good. So this helps you to pick some point tools randomly within your project area or maybe in your map canvas. Now the next tool helps you to show a point you have picked in an external map. Now we are using this as a base map, which is the OSM. If per adventure you don't have a base map but you just have some data on your screen and then it's not linked to any base map, you can actually use this particular tool, click on a point, and then it will take you to that base map. However, there is a few settings you need to understand. So now let's come to these settings. Now under the external map, you can choose the external map you want to show your base map on. So we have the OSM as default here. You can decide to choose any one here of your choice. You even have Google Earth if it is installed on your computer. If you select Google Earth, it will actually open it on Google Earth. So let's say we leave the default and then let's say we are using okay, let's go with the OSM. Okay, let's use Google Map. So whatever point we will select here will be opened on Google Map, maybe using our browser. So let's say we need a point around here. Good. So you now see, okay, let's collapse. You now see that the point we have selected on our QGIS environment, which was somewhere around there, has been exported, or we can now see it on an external map alongside its coordinate. Right, good. So that's one other tool we have for this particular plugin. So the next tool we have here is the zoom to coordinate. Right, good. Now this particular tool helps you to navigate to a particular point whose coordinate you have. Now before you do that, you need to understand a few things here. Remember, we have it as x comma y, and you know x is your easting, y is your northern. Right, good. And then we also have the select CRS, and you know CRS is very important because it helps us to understand the system with which the coordinate we have is based on. Right, good. So if you click on this drop down, you are going to see different CRS. Now the coordinates we had copied earlier of these our points are actually in WGS84. Right, good. And then I also copied one UTM coordinate that is close to our project area. So we are going to do something. We are going to copy this coordinate now. Let's say the first one, and then we'll come back to this our tool. Remember, this is x and y, so x and y cannot work for longitude and latitude. So we use this drop down and then we select WGS 1984. So when you do that, you are going to see longitude and latitude. Right, good. And also note that the coordinates that you have copied here are actually in latitude and longitude, not really longitude and latitude. Therefore, you still will have to click on this toggle to change it to latitude comma longitude. So this is something you need to understand so that it does not navigate you to a different location other than where you want. So you need to understand that this order is very important. If your coordinates are in latitude and longitude, you keep it as y comma x. If it's in longitude and latitude, you keep it as x comma y. And then you also need to ensure that you are under the correct CRS. Right, good. So I haven't copied that. Let's paste it here. And then we click on enter. You see now that we are still within our project area because the coordinate was copied around this project area. Right, good. And then the order is very important. If we click on this and then we paste our coordinates and then we hit enter, it will take us to somewhere very different from where we are going to. Right, good. So that's something you need to understand about the coordinates you are pasting and then the CRS. Now another thing is that we have this coordinate that's in a projected CRS. Right, good. And then it's still within this our project area. So we use this drop down and then we select custom CRS. Now under this custom CRS, you now select the coordinate reference system with which the coordinates you want to paste is based, right? Good. So this is based on UTM zone 32. We click that and then we say okay. Now it's asking us to paste our coordinates in the form of y comma x. So depending on how you have it, if it is y comma x you want, you paste it that way. If it is x comma y you have, you paste it that way. But let's go with x comma y. So we are going to copy the easting, comma, we paste that, right? Good. So we have our easting comma nothings, and then we can click on enter. You now see that we are still within our project area. If we, okay, let's just copy this. If we decide to change the order and then we paste whatever we've copied, it will take us to somewhere that is completely different, right? Good. So you need to understand the order of the coordinates you have and then also the coordinate reference system so that you don't make a mistake when you are using what the zoom to coordinate. Then the next part of the tool is we have multi-location zoom. If you have quite a good number of points that you want to zoom to their location, you can be typing them in here, right? So you can see the order is latitude, longitude, and then if you have a label, you also put the label there. So you enter the coordinates. So let's say we have these coordinates that are here. Paste, add location. You come again, copy, paste, add location, right? Good. So you can decide to also show the markers so that you know where those points that you have copied they actually fall, right? Good. And another thing is that you can create a vector layer from the location list. So if you do that, a vector layer, which is a point layer, will be created that contains the coordinates of those points. And then if you had actually labeled them somewhere around here, the labels will also be displayed there, right? Good. So we are having the coordinates here, so yours can be written manually and then you click on enter. Then you can also use this particular tool to capture the coordinates by clicking on what the map, right? Good. So if you use this and then you click on the map, you now see that it is added to what your coordinate list, right? Good. So we are working on a base map. If peradventure you don't have a base map and then you just have maybe a PDF if you reference or whatever it is, this can help you what list out the coordinates that you are actually what clicking on, right? Good. Now if you observe, we have only for latitude and longitude, right? Good. So if you click on the settings, you can also decide to change it to your custom CRS. Perhaps you want it to be in a projected form, and then if you click on OK, you now see that you have it as what x comma y, right? Good. So depending on the coordinate system you have, you can actually use the settings to modify that. Now we have the next tool to copy the canvas extent. Now we are zoomed to a particular layer. Let me zoom to layer, which is this map canvas that we can see here, right? Good. So if we click on this, it has copied the coordinate of what either the upper right and the lower left. So let's come back here and then we can just paste it. So you now see we have the pair. We have the first two for the upper right or the upper left, and then the second two for the lower right or the lower left. So this can give you the extent of the zoom that you have here. Then there is another option here. If you use the drop down, select copy selected area extent. So if you do that, you can just select an area and then it will copy the extent for you. So it has done that. If we still come down here, we are going to see what the coordinates, right? Good. So there is another option. You can just explore and then see how this other copy selection works, right? Good. Then the next part we are going to look at is what the coordinate conversion, which is very, very important. Now this coordinate conversion helps you to convert coordinate from one system to another. So we have these are points here. Let's say we copy that, Ctrl C, and then we come back here. So when we paste it there, you are going to see that the former copied coordinates are still there. If you click on enter, it is going to update generally. Now observe a few things. You would see that the coordinate that you've copied has been converted to DMS, decimal degrees with different notations. And then for the project CRS, which we are actually working on, it's geographic, so that's why you can see the coordinate is still there. Now we also have custom CRS. Perhaps you want to convert it from this CRS it is to something else, so you use this icon to select from your recently used CRS, or you use the drop down to select from the CRS list you have there. And then when you do that and you click on enter, you are going to see that the coordinates will be displayed in that particular system that you have selected. So these are some tools that you can always remember, that the order is very important. You can use the drop down to toggle between the order, right? Good. So these are some tools that you can explore and exploit on this particular Lat Lon tool. Now, this Lat Lon digitize comes up when you select any vector layer and then you start toggle editing. You now see that it is active because it helps you to digitize points into that particular layer, right? Good. So if you also have a task like that to perform, you just create a new shapefile or an already existing shapefile, you start toggle editing, you definitely see that it will be active, and then you start digitizing the points into that particular shapefile. So we believe that we have shown you how to use this particular Lat Lon tools. You just see how best you can explore and exploit the functionalities in this tool, in this plugin. So until we see you on the next tutorial, ensure you keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.